Hello everyone, greetings of the day. We are going through the software engineering and project management subject. We are going to see the unit 1's introduction of software engineering and software process models. One of the topic that is software process model. In that we are going to discuss a generic process model. In generic process model, we know that a software process is a collection of various activities. If you observe the diagram shown in the slide, that we are having task set number 1, task set number 2. Thus task set number 1 and task set number 2 is going to be formed as a software engineering action. We are going to form one action. Then two actions, software engineering action number 1 and action number 2 is going to form a framework activity number 1. Then this framework activity number 1 to framework activity number n is going to form a umbrella activities, and this same umbrella activity can form a process framework, and these activities or the collection of these activities is going to develop or will help us to develop the software. Okay, so in generic process model we are having 5 framework activities. The 5 framework activities that can be performed to develop a software. What are those activities? The first activity there is communication, then second is planning, then modeling, then construction, and the fifth, the important, is deployment. Now this each framework activity is going to have different kind of task set. We will study one by one activity and we'll see the what kind of task that can be performed under these activities. The first activity that we are having is a communication. In this communication, what are the activities that we are going to what are the tasks that we are going to perform is we are going to perform a communication in between customer and developer. What kind of communication will be there? If we want to develop any kind of software, we should be clear with the requirement of customer. What customer wants, unless and until we don't know that what customer wants, we cannot develop a software for that customer. So in communication phase, the task that we are going to perform is a communication between customer and developer. The purpose is to get the requirement from that customer. Then second phase, second activity is there, that is planning activity. Now this is the second activity. Again, this activity will have different task set under that activity. Now in planning, what kind of task we are going to perform? We are going to perform estimation, we are going to perform the scheduling for your project, and we are also going to perform the tracking. Okay, means in planning phase, whenever we are going to do the activity like planning, we just have to perform the estimation of our project, then scheduling of our project development, and also the tracking, whether we are going on the right path or not, that can be tracked with the help of this tracking. So second activity is planning. Then third is there, that is modeling. In the modeling activity, again there are 2 or more tasks are there. What those tasks are? The modeling consists of complete requirement analysis and the design of the project. Means we are going to perform the 2 tasks under the modeling activity, the complete requirement analysis and the design of projects. Okay, now what are the complete requirement analysis? We are getting the requirements from the customer through the communication, right? Those requirements will be analyzed in the modeling phase, and after analyzing that requirements, second task we are going to perform, that is nothing but design of the project. Now to design that project, we are going to use the different approaches. In this, we can, very simple approach is there, that is we can write a algorithm according to the requirement. Just write the algorithm according to the problem statement that we are having. To solve that problem, we can write an algorithm. That algorithm is nothing but step-by-step solution to the problem, and with the help of same algorithm we can write a flowchart, or we can draw a flowchart. The definition of flowchart is the same, that it is the pictorial format of our algorithm, right? So the flowchart can be drawn with the help of our algorithm. So this kind of task can be performed in our third activity, that is modeling. Now we have completed our communication, we have completed our planning activity, we have completed our modeling. The next activity that we should perform while developing a software is nothing but construction activity. The construction, in the field of IT, we can also say this construction as an implementation. The more appropriate word can be implementation. Okay, now what kind of task that we are going to perform in this construction activity, that we will see. Okay, the construction activity will consist of code generation and the testing part. Again, two tasks are there. The first task is code generation and the second task is testing. Okay, now what is the code generation? Code generation is nothing but coding part that implements the design details, means the design that we have prepared in the previous activity. According to that design detail, we are going to implement the coding part, or implementation of that coding part will be done with the appropriate programming language. Any programming language we can use to write that code. Okay, so this is the one task, that is coding. Then second, we have seen that another task that is testing. Now testing is to check whether the flow of coding is correct or not. We are going to check it whether the code is correct or not, and also testing also checks that the program provides the desired output. It is very important. Whenever we are going to write a program, that should provide the appropriate output. If it is not providing the appropriate output, it will not meet up to the customer's requirement. So it is very important that the program should provide the desired output. So this is the construction phase, which is having two tasks, code generation and testing part. Okay, then next we are having construction. All the four activities we have completed. Now we are having our software ready with us, right? Then we can have the next activity, we can perform the next activity, that is nothing but deployment. The deployment activity will again consist of different kind of tasks that can be performed under that activity, which is having, let us see which kind of task that we are going to perform. In the deployment step, we consist of delivering the product. That product is nothing but our project or the software to the customer. And the second task that we can perform is take feedback from them, right? Two tasks that we are going to perform in the deployment activity. The first is the delivering the product to the customer, and we can take the feedback from them, right? Now in the second task, we are getting the feedback from them. At that time, if the customer wants some correction or demands the additional capability, then the change required for improvement in the quality of software, right? Means if feedback, if the customer requires some kind of improvement, some kind of corrections, that means we are having some improvements to do under that software, and that we have to perform, right? So these are the activities that the task that can be performed in the deployment activity, that is delivering the product, and get the feedback from that customer, and if there is any kind of correction or any kind of demand for the additional capabilities to add, we just have to work on that, and again we just have to deploy that software, deploy that product to the customer. So these are the 5 activities that can be performed to develop a software. The first is communication, then second is there, that is planning, then third is there, that is modeling, then fourth is construction, and fifth is deployment. By following these 5 activities and the task that comes under that activities, we can develop a software. And the same process or the same flow of process is known as the generic process model. So this is all about the generic process model. Today, that's all for today. In next lecture we will discuss the next topic. Thank you.